Welcome back to the channel. Now in the last episode we left you at a parkup over Comeeragh Cove. We had a great night's sleep sharing the spot with one other campervan. My watch records my sleep pattern, so I thought I'd show you just how well that I sleep in Harry, and it must have been from all the swimming yesterday. In this episode we head inland to a waterfall. Stu's back improves but he goes on a quest. He then has a dance. We try out our first Island Aire. We visit this thing and we play the Can We Move to Island game. Welcome to Getaway Geese. We are Stu and Jane, and with Harry, our Ford custom Autocamper, we share our adventures. So join us in this our rough guide series to campervanning in Ireland. So today our first stop is literally 5 minutes away from the parkup at Tankardstown Copper Mine that we saw in the last episode. Ireland was known for copper mining, with mine buildings appearing at many locations along the copper coast. This Tankardstown engine house sits high on the clifftop, and it was part of a Victorian mining site that thrived in the nearby village. And in its heyday, the local industrial hub employed a staggering 1,200 workers. And those who worked at this location had the important job of pumping water out of the mines and bringing ore to the surface. Opposite the surviving structures by the cliff edge you can see earthworks where other mine buildings would have once stood. This particular mine closed in 1877. Now today we're doing something different that we haven't done since being in Ireland, and we're heading inland. Thankfully overnight Stu's back's improved and he's got less pain. And we're off to Mahon Falls. The waterfalls are in the Comeeragh Mountains in County Waterford, and we can soon see them in the distance. And along the journey we play the game Can We Live in Ireland, and to be honest it's a game that we've played all the way through this trip. We've been really impressed with many of the remote properties, although the large modern glass aspects always get our vote. This is a maybe. This is a yes. Look at that one. And this one is the one. And we head up the tree-lined road to the final mountain road that leads to our parkup. This looks like a good second option. But our first choice is closer to the start of our walk.
You have arrived at your destination.
And as we do at most of our parkups, we sit and we watch. Before moving Harry. Well, life would not be the same if Stu wasn't hesitant.
That's where we're going to be parked for the night, up at the Mahon Falls, M-A-H-O-N. I'm probably pronouncing that all wrong. So we'll stay here tonight. It's a bit breezy. I can't fly the drone anyway because I'm in a hazardous area, and I have been throughout Waterford, which is a shame.
And we saw this no dog sign, and although it does not look like an official sign, we assume it's due to the sheep. This place is really deceptive, because at first it felt as though we were right next to the fall and it was going to be a really short walk. But this valley is quite a good old hike. But this first bit is easy on the path.
So my aim is to get us up there. So Harry is all over there somewhere. There's Harry. And those two lads there are breaking into him.
Now, although Stu jokes about seeing two people breaking in, I'm not sure what he would do this far away.
Something's just caught my eye there. There. What's that? Oh, it's a man climbing. Well, I thought it was an animal. Daft as it seems, I thought it was a bird actually at first. Scrabbling to the top.
And there he is, one day with a bit of improvement, and he thinks he's a mountain goat. And all of a sudden he's got it into his head that he's on a quest and he wants to get to the top. And I can confirm that this action got him in the doghouse.
I'm determined to make it up there. It's pushing me back a bit, but I feel a bit better today. So just using the stick as a bit of a guide. Okay, I just hope he doesn't book me. So I finally made it to my goal, and it's good to get out and walk at least a sizable distance for a change. But now I'm here, it's difficult to get my picture, so I'm having to hold onto a rock in my left hand and reach out with my right with my camera, so it may be a bit shaky. Jane would be freaking right now if she could see me.
And Jane was freaking out because Jane spotted him.
And Jane is down there somewhere.
Well, it's time for us to walk back to Harry.
So we're doing a one pot curry tonight, so we've got chicken breast that was on offer, and got some onions and peppers in there, and we'll be adding mushrooms, courgette and a tikka masala sauce just to make it nice and simple, and then we'll layer in the rice on top to cook in one pot, and then we're using some of the fajita breads to mop it all up with. Well, it's going down rather well, I have to say. It's really nice. We've decided actually we could have made 2 meals if we'd have thought about it, because there was enough sauce for 2 meals, and put twice the amount of rice in and then heat it up the following day, I think. It's good. Very nice.
Apparently when you're in Ireland you listen to music that you've never listened to before. After 3. Do you ever sit and wonder what other people have sat in their vans doing?
Oh, filming us, filming them.
Yeah. I always wonder what people do in their vans. So this is what we're doing in our van right now. One of us is still in bed because it's absolutely pouring down, and the other one is editing.
Proceed 3 kilometres on the current road.
Sheep on the road. Get your head in. Come on. The bloody way.
We've never seen these flashing warning arrows before. We think they're a really good idea. So today we're heading back to the south coast to Dungarvan. But unfortunately Stu's lost most of the video footage off the main camera, which is your absolute nightmare. We have some drone footage and a few photos that I captured. That's the joys of YouTubing. Stu was able to fly Tom the drone, as we're just outside the advised high-risk area on his island drone map. We were told that this bit of land used to have a golf course on it. Dungarvan sits at the mouth of the River Colligan. Now fortunately Google Street Map comes to the rescue, so we take a walk into the town and past the castle, and we found a great pub called the Anchor and commands a great view across the harbour. We had a great burger and chips, and I'm pleased to report that Stu cemented his love of Guinness. We stayed at an Aire just on the outskirts of the town, and it cost €10. There's about 8 or 9 bays, and it was quite busy, so get there early. There is water and grey and black waste points, and it's a great way to be close to a town at a reasonable price. The following morning, Stu tops up the water once he's worked out how to do it. Are you having trouble turning that off?
It's a time.
It's alright, no one saw.
Where did you say?
And we set off tracking south. Now amazingly, we don't have a fixed plan for today, but we're going to first head towards Ardmore.
And we just took a short trip up down to Ardmore, just to have a look really at the, is it Round Tower, is it?
Yeah, it was built in the 12th century, and apparently it's one of the best preserved examples in Ireland, so we're lucky to see it because there's about 65 roundhouses in the country, but they're not all in perfect condition. No,
that looks pretty good.
Yeah, I think there's about 15 to 20 that are still in perfect condition.
It looked like it was in 3 sections as well. There's 3 hoops as you go up, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's what makes it unique.
It was a bit eerie because right at the top of it, I don't know if you noticed, there was a crow when I went round.
Oh, was
He was
there?
right at the top, squawking.
Yeah. Well, there's all sorts of theories of what they were, like people could hide in them. People say they were originally bell towers and possibly high status royal chapels. So did you see the door further up?
Yes, half.
Some
about
said
10 feet
yeah,
off the floor,
monks used to put treasures in there and then climb up a ladder and shut the door, but
if they got sort of attacked.
yeah, but people say that's a load of rubbish.
Yes,
also, when they excavated it, I mean, going back years and years ago, they found 2 skeletons at the bottom buried. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, I take it they've removed them, they're not still there. Well, apparently the Round Tower was one of the last towers to be built in 1174. It's St Declan's Monastery.
Oh right, that was the building next to the tower.
Yeah,
okay.
containing the remains of Ardmore Cathedral.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Tradition states that the monastery was founded by Declan of Ardmore in the 5th century.
Blimey, that's going back. It's still a working.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you,
still
but
a working grave, isn't it?
Yeah, I saw 2015 was one of the graves. It's obviously still used. It's lunchtime and I'm getting hangry, as they say. So Stu sees a beach close by. Now they recommend you get to this beach at low tide, and that's for the simple reason that if you go at high tide, there's no beach. we decide to take a packed lunch down to the beach as it's deserted. And we have the whole place to ourselves. Unfortunately, there are more dead gannets, so Stu will report them later on the website now he knows how to do it. The geology of Ireland is beginning to impress us, and the beaches add the extra dimension of the sea doing its work. This beach has several caves, and the layers of rock must have been formed as a result of huge forces forming the layers. The beach has diverted our attention, so we need to eat that lunch. So it's time to move on to our next destination. Oh, I've changed my mind, Stu. Can I have that one? So we just saw a place called Ballycotton, and it's not too far to travel, and luckily the sun is with us today. The car park's a little steep, so we're really hoping that handbrake holds. The lighthouse is just offshore on a small island, and unusually it's black in colour, and apparently only one of two in Ireland. It was built in the late 1840s, following the shipwreck of a paddle steamship called the Sirius in dense fog. Interestingly, the Sirius was the first vessel to cross the Atlantic completely under steam. More recently, in 2019, the merchant vessel Alta, which is also known as Ireland's ghost ship, was washed ashore here, after it was abandoned 1,400 miles off Bermuda. And after the crew were rescued, it continued to drift for another 18 months. The main light was converted to electric in 1975, and then in 1992 it was fully automated. Up to around 1896, the lighthouse keeper's children used to row over to school every single day. So you can just imagine what that crossing must have been like some days. They do trips over to the island, and apparently it has goats living there. This modern house has a commanding view, and as we walked past to the water's edge we could see a chap working away on his laptop. Now that's what you call homeworking. Backwards or forwards? Okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought. Well, it was great to spend some time here, but as ever it's time for us to move on and find a park up. Stu has got 2 targeted spots identified.
I've got a couple of target park-ups that I found. They're both beach park-ups, so whether we'll be able to park I don't know, because there seems to be a fair amount of signs of no parking for motorhomes, campervans in beach areas. Coming down to target A park-up. It doesn't say no camping though, does it?
Oh, it's got toilets.
No, we're good.
The first is Bally Brannagan, and there is more seafaring history we discover on the information board.
So where we've come to stay on the target park up today, which we'll probably stop at, we come across this anchor, which is from the Swedish ship called the Saga. There's a bit of a story behind the Saga. It drifted ashore and was wrecked in February of 1895, just west of Ballyshannon where we are. There was no one on board the ship at the time, there was no crew, and at the time they didn't know what had happened to the crew. Later on the ship got wrecked and broke up, and the only thing that was left was the anchor.
Now at this point the weather changed fast and the audio was really poor. And what Stu's saying is that no one knew what happened to the crew until 2019, when Patricia O'Connell researched the story recovering the anchor. And what she discovered is that the crew had been picked up by another vessel and returned them to journey, unbeknown to anybody in Ireland. The ship cast adrift and broke up on the rocks.
Let's go.
Oh, sugar! Oh my God. Well, the weather certainly changed rapidly here. Stu moves on to target B.
So that's this evening's view. We moved down the coast to Inch Beach, was it? Yeah. Inch Beach. The cargo ship out there, with a beautiful cloud formation above it.
We've just noticed there's a sign here that we didn't see when we came in, so I don't think we're going to be stopping here. Stu's doing his Mr. Cool. Having a little look.
Just go and try around the other car bar just to see if it says anything there, which I suspect it will. So, Eagle-Eye Jane spotted a no camping statement on the community sign, not the main sign.
Let's burst Stu's bubble.
Let's burst my bubble, because I thought we were into a perfect one. So, we're moving because we want to do the right thing.
So we are going back to base A. And we're back to Bally Brannagan for the night. So this is our first place. It doesn't say no camping. And as you can see, the beach is absolutely covered in deep seaweed. Wow, I don't know why they worry about coming on the beach. That's a lot of seaweed. Well, we'll leave it here for now after a full few days of travelling and many sites visited. And you will see in the next episode where I get to the bottom of the seaweed issue. So thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video then help us grow the channel by subscribing, liking and commenting. And we'll hopefully see you in the next episode of Our Travels in Harry.